Hello! I've just done a video about an overheating graphics card and I used a Fluke temperature probe, and I think my phone was listening because it popped up in my feed about this. It's a TR10 handheld thermal imager. So I thought, okay, so I clicked through, there's a nice offer on it, so I bought it. I haven't been given this, I've actually bought it, so let's unbox it and see what you get. Quite a substantial manual. Is it multilingual? Yeah, it's multilingual, so only a bit of it's in English or the language that you need. There's a warranty activation QR code. That's it itself. It's got very little weight to it. What else we got in here? We've got a USB-C charging cable. There's a wrist strap. Another random, quality control passed. Someone's written on that. Does this come out? A bit of foam. Yep, it does. That's the box empty, and that's that. So this little bit here just goes over the cable just to protect the device in transit. And here it is. As I said, it's got no weight to it at all. Has it got any power in it at the moment? No. Oh yes, it's powering up. Just having to think about things. I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh. That's pretty cool. You can't actually see it very well, but it is actually doing thermal imaging, and it is measuring the temperature. Okay, right. Anyway, that's it unboxed. What I'll do now is I'll have a little play with it, and we'll see how we get on with it. Right. The cool thing is it's got a little tripod mount. So I put it on a tripod so it's nice and steady. I think I've got the right lens on the GoPro, so you should be able to read the screen. I will test this once, obviously I've made this. And you can see there, it's pointing at the graphics card, and it's a 3070 Ventus OC, it's an MSI one. I'll just release this and then swing it round, and then you can get a better look at it like that. So that's it there. Let's put the main light on. Let's see how, there you go. So that's it there on the test rig. The power supply is not looking particularly tidy because the one that's in the test rig isn't beefy enough to power it. So yeah, so that is now obviously focusing on the screen. If I turn off the main light, it shouldn't get any glare on the screen, and I'll just bring it in, and you can see, I'll lock it in place like that, and hopefully you can see that it's basically detecting a cold spot of 20 degrees over in that corner, which is over here. So that's obviously just the ambient air in the room. That's kind of interesting. And you can probably make out that there's red numbers, 31.5, 31.4. So it's automatically detecting a hotspot. Which is pretty funky. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it on, and we can watch it get hotter. So we'll turn it on. So the computer is powering up, and it's going to be a bit noisy. It's not doing much at the moment, but you can see the temperatures are, see the colours are, fan's quite noisy on this, but can you see it's starting to generate the hotspots as the RAM in the graphics card gets hotter. 44.2. So that's the machine started up. Now what I'll do is I'll really upset it. I'll fire up Furmark and get that running. I'll put hardware monitor up first so we keep an eye on temperatures afterwards. So there's Furmark running. I'll do a GPU stress test. Right, so watch this. You can already see that there are hotspots on the graphics card, but let's just run firmark and we'll see how that changes. So now it's starting to get a bit hotter, and you can see, hopefully, that the VRAM is starting to glow. So it's reacting in real time, and it is wow. Can you see that? I think I'll zoom in and you can see it. So you can see there's a hotspot down here, sort of in this area here. Well, you can't see it because my finger's in the way, but there's a line of VRAM there, and there's chips around the main GPU, and there's another hotspot sort of there as well. I mean, you can see it on the screen. That is a hotspot, so that's glowing quite nicely. Now, what is also pretty cool about this is what I can do is I can change what the display shows. So if I push that arrow down, that's going like a rainbow effect, where obviously the hotspots, the blue is the cold and the green is warm, and then you've got orange and then you've got yellow. So it produces it uses the colours of the rainbow to determine the heat. So you can see it down there, there's a graduated scale. If I put the next one, that's like a blend. Not particularly helpful because I can't see the red hot temperature, the red hot spot. So I'll flip it down there. That's it entirely red. So black is cold and red is the hottest. Again, not helpful because the temperature display is in red. Click it down again and it's now doing which is like blue hot, which is what it was on before. We've also got green, white. White's probably the helpful one. It's sort of like infrared, isn't it, really? So you've got the hot spot there, and it's picked that up at 56. And you can see the whiter it is, the hotter it is, and the blacker it is, the cooler it is. I'll flick it down again. That's the opposite of that. So the blacker, the hotter it is, the whiter, the cooler it is. And then that's like an iron. I think that's just, describing how if it was iron it would look like that, I guess. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. This is literally the first time I've used it. I haven't even bothered reading the manual, so I will read it later. I'm just wanting to play with it. So that's at 59 degrees and it's picking the hot. It's so cool because what it's doing is it's scanning the coolest bit and identifying that, and that's flickering around over there in the corner. And it's identifying the hot spot, and it's that bit there. That bit there is 61 degrees. So let's go back to the rainbow, the blend, red hot, blue hot, green hot, white hot, black hot, and the iron one. I don't know which one's the best one, really. Let's go through them again. Rainbow, blend. Can't really distinguish things with blend very easily. Red, not helpful because the hot spot's in red. Blue hot, that's kind of cool, isn't it? It's kind of good. Green hot, whatever. White hot, yeah. Black hot, yeah. Iron. So I'm thinking probably blue is helpful, except again, the red bit is the text, so I can't read the text. Green is helpful because I can read the text, but yeah. I don't know, I guess it's personal preference. That's white hot there. So 64.1. What does the Fluke say? Let's see what the Fluke says. So here's the Fluke one. I'll bring that in. I'm going to try and point it roughly in the same place. 60, that was 64. So that's saying 64. So that agrees. So brilliant. So I'm going to flick that down to that one's probably better because I can read it. So 65.5 is the hot spot, 23 is the cold spot. That's this area over here, in the air over here. The Thermark's doing its thing. I can distinguish where the VRAM is. I can distinguish where things are. That's my hand. Awesome. So first impressions are very favourable. What I'll do is I'll stop this bit. I'll read the manual and I'll come back. Right, so I'm back. I've had a quick flick through it. I'll just bring it into view there. So there are various settings that you can fiddle with. One of them's called emissivity. Emissivity, yeah. So basically, depending on what the material is, it will radiate heat differently. And obviously, the amount of heat it radiates is going to be linked to the temperature, but certain things are going to emit infrared radiation in a different way. There's also a distance setting as well. So, judging on how far away you are from it, you can you can tell it. So you can adjust the distance value within the range of 0.3 to 3 meters. So obviously if you're looking further away at something like a water pipe or something like that, or you're looking at the side, yeah, something, an engine or something, you can tell it that you're further away and it will compensate for that. Pretty cool. You can also do a temperature range. It can go from -20 to 150, or you can do 100 to 550. Okay. So the normal range is -20 to 150, but you can also do high temp as well. So that's interesting. You can also set the unit, Fahrenheit or degrees C. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll stick with degrees C because that's the SI unit. There's also something there about ambient temperature as well, so that might be useful. And there's the palette settings that I've fiddled through here, look, different palette settings. So you can do blend, red hot, blue hot, green hot. I've already done those already, I'm not going to go through them again. And then there's another bit here, which is the high-low alarm. Ooh, adjust the high-low temperature alarm settings. Right, so you can trigger it. And you've got display settings as brightness. You can turn off the hot spot, the cold spot, the center spot. So you can obviously tweak what it shows. The center spot's kind of useful because then obviously you can point it at the center of the thing that you're looking at. But you can turn that off. So that's basically the little crosshair in the middle you can see on the screen there. You can turn that off. There's also a brightness and a date and time. And correction, user mode. Okay, USB disk, USB camera. Ooh, select the USB mode option and press the button set to enter the setting interface. Press button again to toggle the USB disk and USB camera, and then press button set to confirm your settings. Set the USB mode to USB disk to browse pictures on the PC connecting to the device to a computer with the USB cable. Okay. Auto power off. Language. So you can take pictures with it. Cool. Okay, and then you can manipulate those images as well. Wow. This is a pretty nifty bit of kit, actually. So if I pull the trigger, does that take a picture? I don't know. What does that do? No image. Successfully saved, that said then. Successfully saved. Press that. You'd take pictures with it. How cool is that? How do I get out of that? I don't know how you get out of that. Press the trigger again. No, press set. There we go. Oh, that's the actual picture itself. 1 of 2, 2 of 2. Press that. Press set. Delete single image. I don't want to do that. I've no idea how the menu system works. Oh. I just press the red button. Oh, that's good. It's very nice when you kind of just do stuff intuitively and it responds. Because I have no idea how the menu system on it works. So essentially, you take a picture by pressing the trigger like that, and it says successfully saved. You press that button there, and then it organises it by date. And then I can press the set button to go in there, and then I can view a picture like that, and I can scroll through the pictures like that. And I'm imagine if I press the red one, and press the red one, press the red one, and I'm back there. Oh, that's it's almost like they had idiots in mind when they designed it. Another thing I've noticed also is the way it's moulded. When you come to press the button, obviously there's the risk that you're going to push it on the tripod, but you can just put your finger on the front and press the buttons like that without worrying that you're going to put them over the actual camera bit of it. So that's, I don't know if they've done that deliberately or that's just the way it's ended up. So I can press the buttons by reaching and feeling like that, almost like I'm holding a game console. So that's a bit nifty. And it came fully charged. So, wow. I'm going to play with this a bit more. I might do a follow-on video, but you can see this card is obviously peaking out at 68 degrees, and you can see where the hotspot is. It's on the VRAM down there. At least I think that's where the VRAM is. Yeah, if you've got any questions about it, then stick them in the comments. If you thought this was a useful thing to show, then also put that in the comments as well. Whether you want to buy one or not, you can. I'm not going to put a link in there because I'm not sponsored, but obviously you can search for it and you'll find it. It may even appear on your timeline now. It knows you've watched this. But yeah, any questions, stick them in the comments. I'm quite impressed with it. I'm going to use it for testing. I'm going to use it for verifying things are overheating and that kind of thing. It's not going to replace the little fluky thing that I've got. They're going to work together. But yeah, so let's stop the ramblings and do something a bit useful. So as I've mentioned, it's got a standard tripod mount on it, and you can see it's on this one here. Keep it steady. If I go into the menu, there's the distance thing that I've mentioned. You set that to be how far away you are from the subject that you're looking at. I've got it set to 0.3 meters at the moment, as you can see on there like that. I'm going to scroll down to where it says USB mode, and you can see it's got USB disk is what it's set to at the moment. So that essentially means when you plug it in, you can take the photos off, take the pictures off. So I'm going to plug it in like that, and we'll see what Windows makes of it. So it says USB drive D, and I go into there, and then there's a folder called image, and well, you can't see it, but there is a folder in there, and it makes bitmap images. Let's load one up. So it makes bitmap images like that. Now can I zoom in on that? I should be able to, shouldn't I? So I'll just slide that and we'll zoom in. So we've got that. I'm going to put these on the, when I edit it, you can see it on the screen now. So that's the kind of images it produces. So I'm just going to close that and close that, and then I'm going to unplug it like that, and then we'll switch it to USB camera like that, and then we'll go back like that. So now when I plug it in like that, now when I plug it in, if I switch to the camera app, it's a camera. So now it's a camera. But what I can do is I'll just release that. The USB lead plugs into the top of it, which is a little bit, obviously that's a bit, you might find that worrying, but that way you know it's plugged in, so there's less chance of it walking off with it plugged in. If I rotate it round, you can see me, and that's about 0.3 meters, isn't it? So there's me on the camera, and what I can do now is I can actually take a video and record it, and I'll put that video in the main video like this. I'll just take my glasses off, and then there's me like that. And if I get something that's cool, so there is it's pretty brilliant actually. You could spend a lot of money on these things, and obviously you get higher definition, and you get, I suppose, presumably faster response time, because there's a bit of a delay with me moving like that. But I'll stop that recording there like that. So yes, very impressed by it. It's going to come in very handy for diagnosing overheating and things like that. Obviously, if you've got any comments or you want me to investigate some other things, then just give me a shout in the comments. And liking and subscribing is appreciated. Yeah, thanks for watching.